You don't have to have the tens, hundreds of thousands of followers. Having a good page, you need to know who you are, what you do, where you're based, how to book in. If you hit all of those marks, you'll get bookings.
Meet Jess Y, a successful nail technician with a thriving salon and over 200,000 followers on Instagram. Jess started her career path in law. She graduated and was on track for a corporate career until she decided that nails was her true passion.
Every element was pointing towards this nail career. Like, I was happier, I was enjoying it.
She started from a kitchen table in her student flat and now she's running a thriving salon in Leeds. Jess proves that with the right marketing strategies and mindset, you can do whatever you want to.
Socials, that was what got in the clients. It's like an online portfolio.
But let's be honest, running a salon isn't always as easy as it looks online. Jess shares how the struggles have taught her more than any degree ever could.
Learning about overheads and staff, it's just a lot.
Every step, Jess has leaned into learning and personal growth.
I still learn so much every single day. I'm always learning.
In this episode, we talk about the real challenges of opening a salon, why followers don't always equal clients, and the daily habits that keep Jess growing year after year. Today, Jess is not just a salon owner. She's a brand, she's an educator, and she is proof that when you back yourself and work hard, passion can become freedom. Somebody's mission is, I want new bookings. What would you say that they want to be posting in order to get that?
Okay, first of all,
Jess, welcome to the Beauty Growth Academy podcast.
hi, thank you for having me.
My pleasure. I stalked you out on Instagram, I'm not going to lie. Spent many hours stalking you, actually. I actually heard about you through Timely. You partner with Timely, don't you? And you've been using their system for a while. And they was talking about you. And I was like, who is this girl? So I looked on your Instagram and I just loved it. You're like a couple of 100,000 followers. You're really like aesthetic on your Instagram. You've got your own salon. So I was like, oh, I've got to get this girl on the pod. And here we are. I'm the queen of manifestation. Just did it, made it happen.
Yeah.
I'm really interested in your story, Jess, because you, after stalking you deeply for many hours, you actually studied law at university, didn't you? You didn't just come into the industry from school or whatever. Mm-hmm. How did you end up studying law at uni, and then now you've got your own salon and beauty business?
Yeah, so not the traditional route at all into the industry. So after school, went to university and just started on with a law degree. Very much the traditional path from school was pushed at my sixth form. You know, you go on to uni, you get a good degree, get a job, and that's the route that you take. So yeah, I left school, started off doing a law degree at the University of Law in Leeds, and I loved it. I really did. Like, I still have such fond memories. It was great.
What law was you studying, by the way?
So you do like a law degree, so it's called the LLB law, and you do like loads of different exams and modules covering the full syllabus, I guess. And then you can kind of, as you get into your third year, you can start niching down a bit. So then it was more corporate vibes. But so that was that. And then it was during COVID times, so a bit of a weird time anyway, but I really wanted a job at uni, and I wanted a job that I could pick up and put down, with uni being so demanding, something that wasn't going to tie me down too much, that I could kind of do alongside my studies. And I personally don't drink, so I didn't really want to work in like a bar or a club, which would probably been the normal job at uni. So I thought, what can I do that is going to work around my studies, something that I'm going to love and I can pick up and slow down when needed. So nails just kind of shouted out to me. So I thought, right, we'll do a course. And I was always creative. I loved doing art at school. So yeah, that was what I did. And I mean, at university, you study and you've got a lot going on, but you have so much free time, whether that's like, you're going to uni for a couple of seminars, but you have a couple of days off, and then your summers are massive. So I had so much time. I thought, when am I going to have this time again to take up a new hobby and really put my all into it? So yeah, I did that and really practiced, and it kind of just turned into a bit of a career, really. So in my second year, I was working from my little flat in Leeds, just in my kitchen, a little 1-bedroom flat, had a couple of clients, and then in my second year moved into a flat in Headingley. So Headingley was it is like the really vibrant student area.
Is this in Leeds too?
Yeah, in Leeds, not just outside Leeds, like the student sort of living area. And just so many students, so many girls. I had a flat with my best mate, and it was her mum who owned the flat, so no landlord probs. It worked really, really well. So just set up in my flat and word spread, and that was it. And then from there, we've just kind of, I don't really know, it stumbled into what we are now. Yeah.
Wow. So did you complete uni then, or did you get into your third year and think, do you know what, I'm quite enjoying these nails?
I did finish it.
Did you finish it? Well done,
With the first class.
With the first class, girl. Wow, you're so impressive. That is amazing. So did you ever think that doing this course in nails would lead to where you are now?
No way. No. It was literally just something that I could do to make money and enjoy. And it was, with my degree being quite demanding, it was something that was more creative. So it was a nice outlet and it just worked really well. It was like, honestly, like therapy. Like, it was so calming on days and just relaxing. And you made a bit of cash from it, and it was perfect. That was all it was meant to be. And then when I was in my third year, I started to think, right, what do I actually want to do after uni? People are starting to make plans for masters, and I was so set on going off to do a masters and, take it further. But I thought, both mentally and like physically, financially, every element was pointing towards this nail career. Like, I was happier, I was enjoying it, I'd be taking a pay cut. Like, all these things are like, well, I'd be silly to turn away from it. So I thought, let's give it a year, see if I still feel the same way about it. And then if not, I can always go back and do my masters again. Like, that degree is never going to leave me. So that's when I thought, we'll give it a year. So I worked in a salon, renting a chair. And then I, just carried on doing that for a couple of years. And then it stumbled into the own salon and everything else. Yeah.
Wow, that's so impressive. So let's talk about these early days then. So you're studying your degree and you think you go do your nail course, and then it's like, okay, well, you need to get some clients. So how did you go about getting clients in those early days? Did you start your own social media page? How did you make that happen?
Socials was just the answer every time. Set up a social media page. It wasn't big, it didn't have many followers, but it just showed all my work. It's like an online portfolio, really, isn't it? And that was what got in the clients, and online marketing, student social media groups, Facebook, Instagram, whatever else, posting in them. Because like I said, you have such this hub of people that, I mean, my prices weren't high because I was a student and I was marketing to students, but you had just a captive audience of girls who lived in a house with 10 other girls. So you do one and then you have 10.
Cool.
Then they'd go to their course and they'd be like, oh, who did your nails? Oh, this girl. And then you might get somebody else, and then you get her flatmates. And before you knew it, it was just fully booked with loads and loads of students. It was great.
Wow,
great
that is great. Yeah, great little audience there. Did you do like discounts for students and stuff? Or was you quite cheap, or how did you price it?
I was definitely more expensive than others in the area. I remember thinking that, but I mean, this is a whole other topic, but I think if you price yourself low, you're underselling yourself, whole other topic. But yeah, I was never the cheapest because I didn't want that to be what I was putting out there. But I think I did do like loyalty cards or something like that, but nothing crazy. No.
That's so interesting. So what was it that made you, because so let's fast forward now. So that's what you did in the early days. That's how you got your clients. And then you started, renting a chair in a salon, and I'm presuming then your clients started coming there and building up the base and stuff. What was it that made you make the decision of, I want my own salon, I want my own business? Because it's quite easy. It's easier to rent than it is to have a salon, isn't it?
Is,
and we'll get into that.
Yeah.
What was it that made you actually go, I want my own business?
I think there's so much that goes into it. When I was working in a salon renting a chair, it was great, and I'm always thankful for the opportunity, for what it gave me. But you start to see things that you'd want to do differently, which is fine. Like that's life. And just little things. I thought if I had my own, I'd want it this way, or like more my aesthetic or the vibes. Just, I don't really know. And I was getting to a point where you do start to outgrow where you are, which is, it's life, it happens.
Yeah, of course.
And I was there for a couple of years, and I was starting to get that itch. Like, I really did want to open somewhere else. So we came across a property, and it was just, I know you're big on manifestation and I am the same, but it was perfect in every way. It was in a lovely high street. It was nearer to home, loads of independence on that. It's like Balamori, honestly. Like, there's a florist with a green front, and there's this old-fashioned sweetie shop with like a purple front. Like, it's so gorgeous.
It was you, yeah.
And I thought, this is what I need. And anyway, it had been taken, it had been let already. So I called up and I was like, listen, I know that this shop's gone, but I'm going to just register my interest anyway. And the lady was, she wasn't happy. She said, listen, it's gone, Jess. Stop inquiring. But I called back, honestly, like every day, like, hi, just check in. It's definitely not available. And she was like, she was getting annoyed. She was like, listen, it's done. It's gone to solicitors. This is off the market. Then I was shopping in Leeds one day and I got a call, and she said, listen, it's actually back on the market. And I thought, right, I'm
it's
there.
mine.
I am there. So yeah, I went straight over, viewed it, and then there was like 20 people who also wanted it that in that day that had also inquired, and I had to write a letter explaining like why I want it, what I want to do with it, and by some chance, yeah, I got chosen to have it. So yeah, that was really a sign that this is the right place and the right time. So that was when I opened the salon. Yeah,
I love that. So you've gone from renting, like a chair in a salon. You're not worrying about overheads and bills, really. You're just paying your rent, however you pay that. Was it weekly or was it percentage? Monthly.
Yeah.
Okay, so you're doing that, and then you find this salon. You're so excited. How did it unfold for you after that? Was it what you thought it was going to be? Was it easier, harder?
Yeah, probably obviously harder. Definitely harder than what I thought. I'm still learning so much now. I've had it for 2 years, soon, almost-ish. And I still learn so much every single day, whether that's learning stuff on my own, like at the salon, or learning from other salon owners, people in the industry. I'm always learning. So yeah, it's been fab, but it's been a journey. Like I've learned so much along the way. It was a big renovation project, a lot of work. So that was a lot in itself. And then yeah, like you said, learning about, it's just a different kettle of fish, like overheads and staff. It's just a lot, but I've learned so much, and yeah, it's been fab. I've loved it. So yeah.
Good.
Yeah.
Did you ever think to yourself, what the fuck have I done?
Yeah, sometimes.
Sometimes I think that's normal. Was you fearful when you took the salon on? Like, did you think to yourself, like, oh, what if this goes wrong? What if that goes wrong? Or was you quite like, I'm so excited, I'm going to make this work? How was your mindset going into it?
Not fearful. Good. I feel like maybe that might come with time, but up until this point, this is probably a naive thing to say, I don't feel that fearful going into stuff like that, because you'll always sort it out. What's the worst that can happen? Like, really, you'll always sort it, it'd be fine. And I think that's a good I think it's a good mentality in business. Like, do it and you'll sort it out along the way. You'll figure it out.
So, like you said, what is the worst that can happen? Yeah. I think when it comes to making a decision on whether people should get a salon or not, they need to look at the logistical side of it. Because I have people say to me, like, Alicia, I want to get a salon. I haven't got much money in the bank right now, and I've only got 3 clients every week. And I'm like, it's not the right time for you. We need to build more, we need to get your business more sustainable and build the foundations before we move into a salon, unless you have the financial side of things backed up so that you can pay the bills on the salon and your personal bills for like 4 or 5 months. Because if you open a salon with no money, no clients from day one, it's instant pressure. Yeah. If you open a salon and you've got a client base and you've got some money aside for renovations, you're opening it and you're not fearful, you're having fun with the process. So I think it really depends on the circumstances and the context to it. Let's go into now, like, you decided to go down the self-employed team, didn't you? So tell me about that. How many self-employed team have you got? How does that work? What's your vibe like in the salon?
Yeah, so they're all self-employed. There are about 6 girls now, I believe, 6 or 7. We've got some new starters coming, but 6 or 7.
Wow, go you.
Self-employed, and it's lovely. It works really well for what I wanted the salon for. So this is like a full conversation, but I feel like I speak to so many women who have got employed salons and women that have got self-employed, and I find both models so fascinating. But for where I'm at right now in my business, self-employed is what works. The reason I opened the salon Blanc Studios was because I wanted a base that I could do my own clients, do my training, but also have a base for other nail techs and other beauticians to have a space to work that fits their vibe. It's aesthetic, it's clean, it's calm, it's a nice environment to work in. That was what I wanted to create. Yes, it's a business, but I never really, things might change, but I never planned on expanding Blanc to like an empire. The reason I wanted Blanc was to have that steady foundation that allows my other side of the business to grow. So when I think of my business as like an overarching view, I think of Blanc Studios, salon, nails, training, clients, and then Jessica White, as a brand. So that's working with OPI, working with Timely, doing podcasts, doing events, hosting masterclasses. It's like 2 different sides of the business. Yeah,
totally get that.
Yeah.
And that business being set up, pretty much running without you needing to be there, that enables you to go and work on the other brand. It's pretty much exactly what I did with my salon.
Yeah, absolutely.
So once upon a time, all my team were employed, not all of them, most of them were employed. I had a mixture of employed and self-employed. And when I was actively working in the salon, doing 50, 60 clients a week myself, that worked well because my presence was there with my employed team. I could keep them motivated. I could keep, making sure everything was cool and running well. And when I decided to have my own brand, which was the Beauty Growth Academy, which was separate to the salon, I approached all my staff and said to them, look, do you want to go self-employed? Because one, you're going to earn more money. And two, I knew that it would be, if I wasn't actively working in the salon and keeping that team motivated, I knew it would be a matter of time before team members started to leave, started to go self-employed elsewhere, and I started to lose their income. Do you know what I mean? So I made that decision, and that was the best decision I made for the Beauty Growth Academy, because that enabled me, like it does you, to not think, oh, I need to be in the salon at this time or that time, or be there for her or her. Like, that's self-efficient. It runs without me. I don't need to be there, but it enables me to free up working on the brand. So, and you know, people have different thoughts on, should I have employed staff? Should I have self-employed staff? It depends on the season you're in. Yeah. Like you said, you may eventually go to employed, you may not. Yeah. You don't know. You just don't know. I think it makes perfect sense. And I think people get it kind of wrong when they make their decisions based on what other people are doing. Yeah. Because your lifestyle and my lifestyle could be completely different to someone else's. So, you know, if they want to actively work in the salon, I do believe this. If you want to earn more money, employing a team and getting them booked out to 80 to 90% or ideally 100% capacity is the way to go. Yeah. However, that doesn't mean that you can't run a profitable salon with a self-employed team, but having an employed team enables you to earn more money, more income, more revenue, especially if you get that team booked out. Yeah. We'll go into your personal brand as well, but I want to go into a little bit more on social media, because you do a very good job. You've got your salon social media, which is so cute, and then you've got your personal social media. How important do you think social media is to beauty professionals for them to be showing up consistently on it?
It's everything. I really do think that, but it depends, like you just said, on where you are in your career. You know, do you want social media to boost bookings, to boost your salon visibility, or are you trying to grow a personal brand to do stuff like this? Like, it just depends what you want to use it for. And I think that can be an issue sometimes. People, they know they want a big platform, but they don't know why they want a big platform. So that's something you kind of have to ask yourself. But, you know, going on to salons, it's really good. It's like an online portfolio. You're reaching all these new clients in your local area. It's perfect for boosting visibility. Flipping it onto the personal growth sort of business side of things. My Instagram now, there's like 230,000 followers or something, but not many of them. I mean, I have my clients in them, but that doesn't necessarily bring in that many local clients and bookings.
It's so good that you're honest about that.
Yeah, I mean, it does bring in a few. I still use like my hashtags and everything else, and it does bring in clients, but I can't say that I have more clients now than when I had 5,000 followers, because I'm still hitting, you know, it's just, I have my clients, and that's kind of that really. So yeah, social media is massive, but I think you have to know why you want a big platform before you start working on it. Yeah.
Do you think that you need to have a big platform on social media in order to get fully booked in your business?
No. I think having a good page that's well put together, it's clean, we need to know who you are, what you do, where you're based, how to book in. If you hit all of those marks and it's a good page, you'll get bookings. You don't have to have the hundreds of thousands of followers. It looks brilliant, and yes, it is so beneficial for other sides of your business, but in terms of getting clients through the door, you don't necessarily need to have millions of followers, but you have to have a good presence online. Like, you need to have a really clear approach and a strategy, and it has to be tailored to getting clients through the door. Do you know what I'm saying?
I totally agree with that. Totally agree with that. I know beauty professionals who have got 1,000-2,000 followers, and they are fully booked like weeks and weeks in advance. And I know some that have got 8, 9, 10,000 followers, and they've got so much space in the diary. And I think that when you start to tie your followers to your business success, you start to create content that's inauthentic, and you start to do things to please or to get more followers. Like, I've had so many posts go viral, and virality does not equal sales. Like, it really doesn't equal sales. Building a connection with your audience, like, you know, because you teach this too, right? Building that know, like, and trust factor as a beauty business owner, as a salon owner, is so much more powerful than having a post that gets 30,000 views because people can relate to it. Relatable content is important, but sometimes people like posts when they're relatable, but with no value behind them. So I think you're totally right. Let's talk a bit about strategy. What type of strategy do you think works when it comes to having like the right things ticked off for clients to get to build that know, like, trust factor?
So in terms of building clients, would you say?
Yeah, say somebody's mission is, you know, I want new bookings. What would you say that kind of like they want to be posting in order to get that?
Well, I'd say first of all, make your Instagram clean. That's what we need to do first. Clean, good profile picture, great. Bio, make it, like I said, you need to know who you are, where you are, what you do, and how to book in. That needs to be super clear. And then in terms of strategy, first of all, look at your pillars. You don't have to have loads, but I maybe have like 3 or 4 core pillars that you know that is what you post on your Instagram. That's great for both you and the audience, because your audience know what to expect from you and you know what to post. Because we've all been there where we have things like, have days where we're like, what do I post?
Yeah.
Just go back to your pillars, and maybe you've got 3 or 4 there, then you know, that's your answer. So in terms of what to post then to bring in the clients, look at your pillars. Maybe have a pillar for aesthetic images in the salon, aesthetic images of the work, or even like before and after, maybe some educational posts. Then maybe the 4th one could be, it depends on you, maybe if you want to show yourself behind the scenes, something like that. So then you've got behind the scenes images, you've got client work, you've got aesthetic images, and you've got education. So you kind of got like your 4 pillars there. That's just off the top of my head probably what I would do for my salon page, because that way you're showing where you work, you're showing images of your salon, what clients can expect, you're showing images of the work, what you physically produce in the salon, you're showing some education so you know what you're on about, you are, you know, credible, and then you're also showing some behind the scenes of you in the salon. People know who they're going to, and that's a big one. I think people like to know who they're going to see when they get a service done nowadays, so having that element of personality does go a long way. Yeah.
I love that. And what would you say to someone that's like kind of overwhelmed with content, they're procrastinating and they find it like really efforty? Do you think batch creating content works, or do you prefer to make it on the go?
Depends what sort of content you want to produce, right? I personally do like to batch create. So whether I'm doing like face fronting videos where talking to the camera, you can batch create that. But if you're doing, like for me, for example, when I'm doing my swatch videos online, I will just take a day out and I'll do loads of filming, or a couple of days, and just hide away in my house and do loads of filming. But if your main content that you produce is client work, that requires obviously physical work as well. So you can't really batch that as much unless you take pictures of every single set you do. And we all know in a salon, we don't often have time for that because we're busy. So yeah, I think it depends. Content shouldn't be hard work. It should work around you and your schedule. So like I said, if you're going to be taking pictures of your client work, just book out an extra 5 minutes at the end or something to make it work in your diary.
Yeah.
And then you won't feel that overwhelm of, I need to post, but what do I post? I don't have time. Fit it into your diary and go from there. I
think batch creating content is probably one of the most powerful things that beauty professionals can do, because it's like you say, it's easy to forget when a client's in with you. Whereas if you've got a couple of albums on your phone, so it's like salon album, client album, educational album, and you batch that content and put it into them albums, in a few months, if you're sat there and you've got nothing scheduled, you can just pull something out of the album and repurpose it, recreate it. Just makes it so much easier. And I think as well, because I like to give lots of value on the podcast episodes, when it comes to content pillars, with my salon, I used to have educational as a content pillar. So that would be talking about the treatments or the results or whatever it is. So for example, if somebody's doing facials, tell people, educate them about what facials does, types of skin, all that kind of stuff. And then we would have behind the scenes / relatable content. So like you said, showing the salon, B-roll content of you doing a treatment, whatever. I think personal needs to go into the mix, because people like to understand who they're going to. And some of my best performing content from back in the day was when I put a picture of me and my daughter on, or I put a picture of me on taking a day off from the salon, or just something that they didn't know about me. And I think that when you start to get a bit of, and then sales content. So this is the actual direct call to action, book this package, book this appointment, this is what we've got going off. And I think when you can mix up the content in that way, so listen, just sales content wouldn't work. No. It's too much. Just behind the scenes relatable content, it's not going to work. Just educational content, you're going to get boring. Mixing it up and following them pillars, like you say, is exactly the best thing to do, because you can create a bank in each pillar and just pull from it. Doesn't need to be overwhelming. But it does get fucking overwhelming. And I do understand that. So do you have any particular daily working habits that you think have helped you grow your business to this stage? There's things that you do consistently that you're like, do you know what? If I didn't do this consistently, I probably wouldn't be where I am.
Probably just it's such a cliche answer, but being consistent in everything you do, whether you're showing up for your clients, whether you're planning your content, every day I have a diary and that is planned out to the minute, honestly. So like even be like 6:30 wake up, 7 o'clock ready and breakfast, whatever it is planned out.
Love that.
To the minute. And I think that really helps me to get on track every day. And that way I tick off everything, no matter what it takes. And then you can start again the next day. So I'd say having a really thorough to-do list.
Love that. Daily routine, daily plan.
Yeah.
And it's setting clear intention, isn't it? And I like to do it the night before.
Yes.
So if I plan my day the night before for the following day, when my eyes are open, I've got clear intention of what I'm going to be doing. Much more likely to actually get it done.
Yeah. Absolutely, yeah. Planning goals as well. So short-term goals, medium term, and then that long term is so valuable. I always like to have some short-term goals that I know are achievable and that I will achieve. Not too easy, but ones that you're going to tick off. And then some a bit more far-fetched. And then I read a book, you might have heard of it, called The Secret by Rhonda Burns. Love it. I do it every year. No, not The Secret, The Magic.
The Magic, yeah.
Which one is it? Is The Magic the
There's
one?
The Magic, The Hero, The Secret. I think there are 3 from that, but yeah.
I think it's The Magic. It's like the actionable one that you have to do every day. That one. So there's a practice in there where you have to write down your 10, I don't know what they call it. It's like your 10 most, not far-fetched, but like
big, scary, wild goals.
Like your wildest dream goals. And I remember writing this down when I was probably still at the salon I used to work at. And I found it recently. I was having a clear out. And I read all 10 and I was like, light work. Like, I look back and think it's crazy that they were once your wildest
love that for
dream. So then every now and then I do that as well. And I also, bit cringe, but it was my birthday last week, and every birthday I write a card to myself for the following year.
That's so cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I love it. Someone once told me to do it and I've done it now for like 4 years. And it's so nice. Like you open it on your birthday and it's like, to Jess, and I'm like, oh, and you read what you wrote to yourself the year before. So you kind of talk about where you are in life at the moment, what you hope you have achieved by the time that you're reading it. It's really nice. So,
love that. Yeah. That's such a good idea. So I think there's one thing that's very clear about you, Jess, and it's clear as to why you've created success. And like you have is, you're very intentional.
Yeah.
You're very clear, first of all. And I have like a 6-step process to salon success. And one of them steps is, because so I sat down one day when I first started out coaching and I looked back at my salon and, I'd created loads of money, team, everything. And I sat and I thought to myself, what is it that, I didn't fucking know. I was like, what is it that I've done that's helped this salon be so successful? And I got about 10 things out of me. And I drilled it down, and I ended up with 6 things. And I still use that framework now because it's very important. One of the things is clarity on your vision. Yeah. It's so important. So with you, clarity on your vision is there. You're very intentional. Your planning and your personal growth side of things is covered. And I think that people underestimate the conscious, consistent intention that it takes from a salon owner to make a beauty business successful. I think people often come into the market and underestimate the actual dedication that it takes to build a successful beauty business. So you are juggling a lot of stuff though, right, Jess? Yeah. So you're juggling your salon, you're juggling your team, you're juggling your content, you're mentoring others as well when it comes to social media. How do you avoid burnout and keep the energy to juggle all these plates? Because you've got a lot going off.
Yeah. I wish I knew, really, and that's something I do need to work on. I don't often burn out, but when it does happen, it's not great.
I get you. Been there.
Yeah. I think just setting boundaries where you can. I'm going to be truthful. I have obviously a social life. I have my friends and my boyfriend, but I don't have like a wild social life.
You already said you don't drink, and I bet that's got a massive impact. So every Monday morning, you're fresh and ready to go.
Yeah, well, I guess so. So it's like, that's one thing that, that's a boundary, I guess. I have more I bank time there. And I guess, just setting boundaries in every element my business. So like you said, salon, I set my boundaries. I don't work too late. I love to start early because I like to get up. I don't work too late because I like to go home and have tea with my boyfriend and have that chill time.
Absolutely.
So setting boundaries there. Setting boundaries with clients, which I guess comes under the same thing, but when clients like, oh, can you just squeeze me in? I'm really sorry if I can't get you in. I'll try my hardest, and maybe I often do squeeze them in, but sometimes I'll pass them on to a girl at the salon who may have availability, like setting boundaries in that sense. Online, social media, this is something I need to work on, but putting the phone down, just really trying to set boundaries there. Whether I'm creating content for brands or creating content just for my own page, it's constant, like you are always on your phone and always thinking, I could do this and I could edit, or maybe shall I tweak that? Maybe the brand wants me to do this a bit differently. Just setting time aside to be like, right, okay.
No phone zone.
No phones now, let's put them away, which I need to listen to more often. And I guess...
do you know what though? I do think that it's a world that we live in now. Phones are a big part of our lives. They're constantly distracting us. The notifications are on all the time. And as business owners, if we don't learn to have them boundaries around phones, and it slips, right? It does slip sometimes, but it can really affect your mental health.
Yeah, it can.
It really can. So I think it's good that you're conscious of it. Yeah. And I think it knocks your alignment. I think it makes you feel overwhelmed. I think, you can be sat on the phone and in a couple of minutes or whatever, your belly feels like icky and like tense, and you're just like, oh, you want to shake it off, don't you?
The feeling.
So I do like to practice time without my phone, but I tell you a trick for reducing your phone time, and whether you do this already or not is totally up to you. First off, no notifications.
Oh God, that's
no notifications. You don't need notifications. You have dedicated points throughout your day where you go and check your phone. So Facebook notifications off, Messenger notifications off, Instagram notifications off. If every time you go to work on something or do something and your phone lights up or pings, you're constantly going to be on it. So it's hard to practice at first, but it really does help because I say, look, there's a part of my morning where I'm dedicated to responding to my members and emails and whatever. There's a part in my afternoon. There's a part before I clock off in the evenings. Other than that, I don't need to see as and when every notification comes in, and it really helps you reduce your screen time.
Yeah, that does sound good actually. Might try that.
Try it. I will. Honestly, have a little notification detox. It'll help with mental health. It really will. How important do you think personal growth is to the success of your salon and then your other business too? Do you or your team want to train in a new and popular beauty treatment for as little as £99? Whether it's lashes, brows or facials, adding a new service can mean more clients and more money. With Beginner Beauty Courses UK, you can train for as little as £99 or from the comfort of your own home. Get instant access to their online accredited courses and train in treatments like lash lift and tint, classic lash extensions, beginner facials, massage, Russian lash extensions, and more. You'll get full support from your tutor, private WhatsApp chats, and lifetime access to easy to follow tutorials that you can rewatch over and over again. Click on the link in the show notes and train in a brand new in-demand beauty treatment today.
Yeah, really important, I'd say. Yeah, really important. I often see TikToks and stuff about people saying you have to work on the brand as well as in the brand. So if you make that, I guess, the personal brand, then yeah, it's really important. I'd say for me more so with the personal side of things, so working with brands, you are your business, I guess. Like working on yourself is you working on your brand, do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that's really, really important. Because like I said, you are your sales pitch. Like it's a one-man band kind of thing, really. So yeah, personal growth, working on yourself, really, really important. And then in terms of the salon side of things, yeah, I'd say it's still really important because people know, you'll know this, but people know you as the salon owner. So you need to show up for yourself, and then in that same breath, you show up for your clients, you show up for the business, you show up for other people around you. So yeah, really, really important, definitely. You can't let yourself slip, because if not, then too busy thinking about work and everything else, you forget about the personal growth. So
yeah, of course. So you said that you read like books and stuff. Is that kind of things that you do for your personal growth, like books, podcasts?
Oh yeah, yeah, definitely. I do like to read. I go through phases, to be honest. Yeah, I love a good book. I do like a podcast, but I feel like I only do them in the car, you know, like I feel like I don't...
That's all right, though. Most people do.
Yeah, I guess so. But yeah, I'd like a book. I do like a book. I feel like I take it in more. I feel like when it's a podcast, I can kind of zone out.
Yeah, same. And like you can get distracted. I like
unless I'm really on it. Like I need to be like really focused.
With a pen and paper, like I'm really taking this one in.
If it's that kind of podcast, yeah. If it's a self-growth one, I have to be like listening. But with a book, depends on what it is. Like if it's like a self-growth book, then yeah, I feel like I can highlight it and go back to it and stuff. But yeah, podcasts, books, talking to people, learning from people, that's huge. Masterclasses, stuff like that.
You love education.
Yeah.
I think you can, obviously, you went through school, you've been to uni, you're obviously, switched on, you're a bright girl, you're educated. And I think that your dedication to continue your education is really inspiring to people. And I think that it's no mistake that you've done so well, Jess. You've got your salon, you've got this incredible personal brand, you do so well. And that's not down to luck. It's not, it's down to perseverance and committing yourself to the process. And I think it's beautiful that you also share that with people now, you're helping people as well. So tell me more about like your future goals. What are your goals now? Tell me your big ones.
Oh gosh, okay. Again, I split it down the 50-50, so Blanc Studio, Salon, and then Jessica White personal brand. Salon, all the girls to be, well, they all are, but all happy, fully booked, nice environment that continues just to thrive without me being there 24/7. I mean, I'm still there, but not all the time.
Yeah.
That's my goal for Blanc Studios at the moment. Who knows, that might change. But right now, as long as that's happy, ticking over, girls are full, all the chairs are booked, happy days.
Cool.
In terms of Jessica White, personal brand, just keep growing that, keep growing the online presence, doing more appearances like this, like podcasts.
Yay.
I would love, when this is like quite far-fetched, I feel a bit scared putting it out into the
No, go
universe.
get it, girl.
I'd love to just do more like press appearances in terms of like beauty in the nail industry. So whether that's, I don't know, on radio or podcasts or TV, I don't know what that shows.
Well, someone might be listening to this that's got a great opportunity for you. Hit her up.
But yeah, just something like that. Like recently I've done a lot, I work with OPI really closely. I've worked with them now for about 4 years or 3. And they're so great to work with, and they've supported my goals throughout the whole journey. And they really allow me to do that. So like last week they had an event called like the House of Weller, and that was like basically Weller own OPI, like a big event, loads of masterclasses, and I got to do a talk there, and I was like, that was just, it was scary and it was out of my comfort zone.
It is scary.
But it's pushing you to do new things and do stuff like that. So yeah, stuff like that, maybe that, more of that, I think.
Love that. And you work with Timely, right? So
Yes,
tell
I
me
do.
about your relationship with Timely and how that came about, because I'm team Timely. Everybody knows that.
Yeah, big time. So I've used Timely for years. I think even when I worked from home in my uni halls, I used it, but not like I used it as an online booking system, but not to the full extent because I was kind of working from home. Then working in the salon where I used to work, everybody there was self-employed and they all used Timely.
Right.
So I was like, okay, well, fine, it works. I've been using it already. We'll carry on. But I could use more features in that sense. Like the online booking system, I could use more like, obviously they could see my address and stuff. Whereas when I was working from home, I didn't really have that. So yeah, it worked really well in that sense. Then I started utilising it more for follow-up emails, follow-up SMS, reminders, etc. It worked really, really well. And then when I moved into my salon, I kind of followed the same model because it worked where I used to be. I thought, let's do the same. So all the girls there were self-employed with Timely. But I realised that it worked, but I didn't have full autonomy over my business because I couldn't see who was booked in when, what time the girls were working. And granted, yeah, they are self-employed. I do still think it's important to have an overview of your business so you can see what's happening, what's going through it. You need to know that sort of stuff. So I spoke to Timely and I was like, how can you help me out in this case? I want all the girls to be under one system, but I need them all to be self-employed.
Yeah, and they can all have access to it, but I want to see the overview of what's going on in the business, And
I was like, is this going to work? I'm not sure how it'll work. Timely did. They made it work, and they worked really closely with me to make it happen. And yeah, it works really, really well. So at the moment, we're all on one system. We have all of our services. The girls have their own prices, their own times, etc. And then we have the full salon booking link, which is like Timely, like /Blanc or whatever. And then they also have, as you'll know, they can have their own booking links per staff member. So like Mia, one of our nail techs, she can just use her link to send to her clients. So when they click on her Instagram, they'll just see Mia's services. And then if they find, let's say Zoe, our lash tech, if they find Zoe through Instagram, they'll click on her link and it just shows her brow and lash services.
Got it.
Yeah, but then if you go onto the salon page or the salon website, you can see everybody's. It just works really, really well. It allows for like cross-booking, so they can book like lashes, brows, pedi, facial in one day should they wish. In terms of marketing, we can market every client at the same time. Yeah, it just works really, really well. So I'm rambling now, but I can't imagine using or like running a business without a model like Timely. I don't even know how I do it.
I love that.
Yeah.
And listen, I'm going to let you take the stage with this one, babe, because you're a partner too. So if somebody wants to sign up with Timely, they can use your code from this episode. Just to remind them what that is, Don. I'll put the link below.
Thank you. It is Jessica50.
Jessica50. What does that get them? 50% off the first 3 months?
50%, well, yeah, 2 weeks free and 50% off the first 3 months, yeah.
There we go. Go try it out. Okay, listen, darling. I know I've only had you for a limited time today, and as much as we could carry on, because I really want it. It goes so fast. It goes so fast. We maybe have to do a part 2 one day.
I want to keep talking.
I've got another 10 questions. I'm like, and I've gone off piste as well. But Jess, thank you so much for coming onto the podcast. I've really enjoyed it, and I'm sure we'll get together at another event or a timely thing. We'll have fun with them.
It's been so nice. Thank you so much. I've loved it.
Thank you.
Aww.